What's up, everybody? Thanks again for joining us on another episode of the Who Do You Think You Are podcast. This is episode 149. And as always, I'd like to take this time to ask each and every one of you to please go to the social medias, type us in, search us at WDUTUR Pod across all platforms. That's WDUTUR Pod across all platforms. And if you go to the YouTube, type in WDUTUR, which we should probably add the pod afterwards because it'd make better sense for marketing. No? Okay, never mind. From the producer right now in studio. So just type in WDUTUR, where the first ones that come up, hit the like, hit subscribe, and maybe share it with a friend. What's up, Nick?
Hello, Pedro. Who do you think you
Oh,
yeah!
Oh, come on, fuck me.
What the fuck? Baby? We're back in Studio 3 and I'm feeling alive because I just got over COVID and this is a super spreading podcast. And to my right, I'm so glad he's back in the studio. Let me see your hands. He's here, baby.
What's up, everybody? I'm Pedro. Trying to get this energy up, Pedro. That's what I'm going to call myself today. Okay?
I think I had too much.
Yeah, you kind of went overboard.
I apologize.
But I appreciate it. And it kind of got me to a certain level, but not to that level. And behind this camera over here, as always, the FAG of the studio, guys.
All right. Well, there we go.
Does he have a name? Or is just that's what we're going to call him?
It'll flash on the screen after.
Okay, perfect. Well, welcome to another episode. It has been quite the couple weeks. I think the last time we were all three in here together was when my lovely cousin was in here. Fun episode. Actually, I feel like this is one of the rare times I feel like you could actually go back on our podcast, and we've had some great ones these last couple of weeks. You know, We're coming up on our 3-year anniversary. We're all
we are
barely escaping death. And I don't know, it's good to be back here. I mean, it's good to be drinking. I'm about to smoke weed for my first time in about 2 weeks. And I'm feeling good, dude.
Why haven't you been smoking, dude?
I've just been sick. Really, really sick, dude.
Just got over COVID.
You
didn't it didn't cross your mind just to like process of elimination, just to get it out of the way, to see if it was that?
Is that it was it's like $120, $200 for the rapid test, dude.
I mean, you could have waited like 3 days.
But if nobody at my work was like, go do this, I was like, I don't know. I just kind of felt.
I think CVS does them free at that. If you don't have insurance, and you can just lie and say you don't have insurance.
Wait, if you don't have insurance, then you can lie and say you don't have insurance?
I mean,
I don't
have
insurance.
insurance. Oh, you don't have insurance? No. Oh, okay, well, good then. Yeah, CVS
I don't have
does
to
it
lie.
for free.
The rapid tests are free?
That's what I heard.
So why didn't you get a rapid test?
Because I didn't know if I was going to come here or not.
All over us. I mean,
we argued about it for 2 hours. Ladies and gentlemen, I may or may not have COVID. I hung out with a COVID infested woman.
Ooh.
And about a week ago.
Was it worth it?
Fine. Nope.
Cool.
Just kidding. It was fun.
Okay.
But yeah. So
now he's spreading it to us and just carelessly.
Yeah.
He's like,
I went to see Jeff Ross last night. Spread it to all those people too.
Yeah. Any Jeff Ross fans deserves to die from COVID, to be honest with you. So
they are in the at-risk category.
How was it?
It was fucking phenomenal, dude. Jeff Ross is a master comedian. It's wild to see. It's like watching, like when you watch classical musicians play and their movements are so like dialed in and everything.
I've never
like
seen a classical musician.
Me either. And what was this?
Really?
Yeah, like
the classical musician.
I was doing.
Don't you know the classical
simulating a violin?
Oh, sorry. Okay.
No, you just have a picture of violin.
I'm sorry.
You guys have never seen it because you have zero class, so you don't know.
I'm dressed like somebody that has a lot of class, dude, to be honest with you. Either a gay tennis player or somebody that appreciates watching tennis. What do you think?
I'd say somebody that appreciates it.
Or just a frat guy that's like a little bit like he just buys whatever.
Yeah,
kind of like you look like Vax Miller. I feel like you're about to start enforcing rules at a Whole Foods.
I'm not allowed to go back to Whole Foods because I quit on bad terms. And many years later, I tried getting another job at Whole Foods, and I lied saying I never worked there because it's been about 10 years.
Was it the same Whole Foods?
No, it's a different state. And then I went in for my first day of work, and then I got there, talked to the guy, and then he's like, you need to go see the
HR.
HR. And I'm like, dude. Started a new job, finally out of the restaurant industry. They're like, Yeah, you lied on your. That's a bad start with the company.
Damn, dude, they keep track, huh?
Yeah, then I went outside behind the back and I started crying because I didn't know what to do with that. Not that Whole Foods was going to solve any of the problems, but it was a step in the right direction outside of a restaurant. And Whole Foods was a great company to work for back before I burnt bridges when I was a younger piece of.
How did you burn that
garbage.
bridge, dude?
Well, first of all, so I started the job and it was like called like a maintenance. Like they glorified what. It was a janitorial job, which is fine, you know. But when I took the job at 18 or whatever, it was good money first of all, and it was like maintenance. And like when I interviewed, they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna do a bunch of behind the scenes stuff, so it's like electricity, like fix things, coolers, like handy stuff." So I was like, "That'll be cool. It'll be a good learning experience," and I'm excited. And then when I got there for the first day of the job, they're like, "All right, the trash cans are there. These are the sensors you have to push every hour to like show that you mopped or cleaned for like to avoid lawsuits and whatnot." And I was like, okay, fine. And I did that job for like 2 months or so. But it was like this super crazy, like huge store that was just like, and I was the only one like cleaning all these bathrooms and stuff like that. And like this one day, the store manager or whatever, he went into the bathroom and he's like, "Yo, you got to do this, you got to do this." And I'd been telling him, I was like, "We need more help on like the weekends because it's crazy. It's too much. It's not possible. Like the amount of things you have to do to avoid losses. Like I was saying, these sensors where they have like these 45 sensors kind of hidden all over the store. That way you have to hit them every single hour. Right. So that way they know like if somebody trips or falls, it's like, oh, well, we did our best to prevent it. But then you have 3 bathrooms. You have the eating areas you need to clean. So there's all these things you have to do and trashes through all the different stations. So I was just like, we need more help. And then he's like, well, if you need more help, well, maybe you just need to do a better job or something like that. Then I was like, oh, really?
Dude, fuck you.
I was like, fuck you. And I pushed over the cart and I walked out.
Hell yeah, dude.
Fuck you.
The decision to flee came suddenly.
Punk rock, dude.
It was, dude. I love quitting jobs like that, dude. There's nothing more sweet than telling a boss to go fuck themselves.
Because for the rest of the day they're fucked. Like that person's not like you're.
But also, I don't feel like I've ever like raised my middle finger and said "fuck you" to a job or a situation that like it wasn't like I didn't really feel like it was like some teenage angst thing. Like I showed up to work every day. I never miss work even if I have COVID. Like I work hard.
The work in the past 2 weeks.
Like I work hard. I have worker's guilt. Like so, anytime I get pushed far enough to like finally walk out, it's like I've been pushed to that point. I feel like at least that's what I tell myself.
Yeah.
So I can't work.
How you justify it.
Yeah. So I can't work at Whole Foods. I know there's probably a better way to handle it, but
damn, dude.
Yeah, that's too bad.
You ever been fired, Pedro?
I wasn't fired. Did I quit?
That's right.
I can't. I'm trying to think. I can't say I have, dude.
Have you ever walked out on a job?
Not like in bad terms. No, I'm one of those that I'll, I always put my 2 weeks in. I don't burn bridges like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so.
It's for a second. You're a homosexual male.
Not precisely.
Not male.
Yeah, who are you to fucking specify my gender, dude?
Drew, shout out Demi Lovato, dude. I'm so proud of them. Why are you laughing?
Ones?
Huh?
Why are you laughing?
No, I just remembered something.
Well,
yeah.
Okay. All right.
I remembered it again.
Did you guys see
my zipper's down.
Elliot Page's new...
Both of you looked, you fucking flamers.
Of course
dude.
I'm going to look, dude.
I'm looking at Elliot Page's hot tits, dude.
What? Let me see.
Elliot Page just shared a handsome new photo by the pool.
They got tits? Let me see.
Hello, dude. Better body than Pedro.
Oh, that's for sure, dude. Yeah.
That's better. She should
really
be
white though. Too white.
Yeah, get a tan.
Yeah, go get a spray tan or something.
Yeah,
Elliot.
And maybe don't skip leg day.
Well, I don't know. You look like somebody that say don't skip leg day. It's just not a good catchphrase. Don't say that kind of stuff.
I'm being genuine.
Judging his chicken legs, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I'm just saying he's all beefed up over there. He's like, don't skip leg day. You know, it's like that thing. Yeah, it's like those gym
Yeah, rats.
Yeah.
He's a gym
looks
brat.
like a skipped leg day again.
Hey, Muslim.
Hey, Muslim. You are looking buff, dude.
Yeah,
you're
thanks,
looking
buddy.
good, dude. Look at that, huh? Aside from having COVID, I mean, everything's good.
Yeah, dude. I got COVID. I got hemorrhoids. I got herpes, but I'm in shape, though.
Dude.
Now you can fight off the bullies, but not the mean thoughts, dude. Hell yeah.
Now I'll be a real problem when I lose it and have a psychotic episode.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Demi Lovato again.
¿Quién crees que eres?
Oh man. So what did she say? She came out. Were we talking about something?
I think she's got a bad haircut. Because if you see the haircut, I would start identifying as non-binary too. And I did all that because I haven't smoked weed and I'm just still,
It's still the COVID.
But
It's still
I'm
a little
just
bit of
saying
the COVID.
whoever gave them that haircut is not. I mean,
I feel like
did she go non-binary before or after the haircut?
I think it was after.
yeah, it was like she was like, oh my god, what am I gonna do?
Non-binary.
I'm going non-binary.
Smart.
I think her and Elliot should
Get a bad
dude.
hair. If you get a bad haircut, like that would be my next step too. Is be like, well, you know what? This is non-binary. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Dude, bring the mullet back.
right.
Yeah.
We can bring it back. It's here. It's been here.
No, it is.
Oh,
Had a little mullet going on, dude.
Hey, you don't remember that?
A little neck skirt, dude.
Dude, that was hot, dude. It's like a little skirt steak, dude. Lift it up. I wanted to lift it up and kiss you on the back of the neck.
Ooh, it was so soft, dude. It was so soft, and then it like didn't get burnt by the suns because
Oh, so you had like a farmer's mullet.
Yeah,
farmer's
mullet
tan.
tan,
That's
dude.
awesome.
it smelled
Mullet
like
tan.
strawberry watermelon. Fucking.
I went on this trip through memory lane yesterday. And that's why we have some Hunter S Thompson drops today. Because on YouTube there was just the old documentary of Buy the Ticket,
First
Take
off,
the Ride.
okay, hold on. I get this
Okay.
message from you that says, "Hey, what's good to watch?" And I give you a list of all these good
I've
shows.
already seen like more than half of those.
Well, there's the other half that you haven't seen,
Yeah,
and so you just went onto YouTube instead.
that was like 2 days ago.
Finish the fucking story.
Yeah, finish the story, dude.
So I started watching Buy the Ticket, Take the Ride, which I've seen before. I've seen like every document. Like I'm obsessed with
Yeah,
Hunter S.
dude, he's
Thompson.
your homie.
Always was. But I haven't seen anything like that for a while on him, and just it brought back so much nostalgia and just why I'm so mesmerized by it. Have you seen that documentary before?
I don't know if I've seen that one, but I
Just-
got on a Hunter S Thompson kick like 2 weeks ago and spent like the entire night just watching clips from another Hunter documentary that I've never seen before. It wasn't Buy the Ticket, Take the Ride. It was something else.
I mean, there's so many.
I think it was called Breakfast with Hunter.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one too. I mean, they're all kind of. It's like one of those things. Once you watch so many, it's like all just cut up in different ways, and the
Yeah.
same people are talking, telling different stories. Johnny Depp's dressed like the Pirates of the Caribbean guy in one of the documentaries. The other one, he's dressed like a woman abuser. So it's hard to tell which is the difference.
Terrible storyteller, by the way. Johnny Depp tells boring stories, dude. Oh
He's
my
an
god.
actor, dude, and he has an earpiece. He pays somebody like $200,000 a year to have an earpiece reader the whole time.
Oh,
He's
really?
telling a story
Yeah,
about
you never saw that, like when they released all the details of like how he spends his monthly money, and one of them is like on retainer he has somebody that comes to all the shoots with him that just reads into his ear so he has to memorize lines.
fuck yeah,
That's
dude.
kind of smart, though, isn't it?
At some point when you're getting older, I feel like it might not be too bad. I don't know, but also it's like imagine performing and acting and being part of a character and then like trying just reciting back. You're pulled out of the moment.
Yeah.
You're not going to be acting the same. You know what I mean?
Maybe he's hearing it and then interpreting it as he's hearing it, you know?
Maybe if like when
As
he's
the
doing
character.
what's eating Gilbert Grape and he has like a person with special needs reading into his ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
The cat jumps over the dog.
That's the COVID speaking. You guys don't worry about it. But yeah, that documentary and just everything about him, man, it also just makes me think a lot about culture because he was such an iconic person, like writing and telling the news in a way. And I know we've gone over this a 1,000 times, but that's what's happening right now. I think so bad in our culture is, with music like WAP or these, like what the messages and the things that we're talking about, there's nobody like breaking down societal norms from the outskirts of it. Like even rock and roll, it's like maybe it talks about sex now and like that's kind of dangerous, but there's nothing about, even the Rolling Stones would talk about sex, but then they also talk about politics, about war,
Right,
about the
yeah.
things that are happening, about the corruption that like,
Is there even rock and roll anymore? What?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's like all become like this
just watered down, just
alternative almost.
Yeah,
I feel like
it's-
it's poppy. Like I heard and not that it was rock before, but I heard one of Coldplay's new songs or whatever, and I was like, dude, this is like
oh, they went full pop.
this is pop.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's kind of sad because I liked some of old Coldplay.
But it just, there's nobody that's
Like a Rage Against the Machine. Yeah,
but there's nobody
exactly.
raging against the actual machine right now. And I feel like we're missing that from all assets of our media because our news now is so watered down. It's so like we have this one visual. We're not like CNN isn't going to hire an investigative journalist that's going against their word. Like the Rolling Stones or Rolling Stone paper or magazine when they would employ Hunter. It's like, who's that guy now too? It's even like going against what Rolling Stone maybe would want to put forward. But it was like, so you couldn't look away even if you wanted to, that like he inspired so many different people, and we're missing that as a culture, that we're just becoming these people that are these safe little shells of like humans, that's why we're not expanding to the next thing. That's why we're just staying content with where we are in our houses and our jobs and like where our social realm is, because now we're allowed to say, this is what makes me feel good, this is what makes me feel comfortable. I know where those voices are to make my little echo chamber, and we're never fighting against that grain anymore. And I think we're just really sinking deeper and deeper into that.
It's like we don't have anybody to play the devil's advocate for us.
We don't have Hunter S Thompson running around doing drugs, talking about like
shooting his neighbors and shit like that.
Well, just, I mean, talking about the beautiful side of drugs, and also the Nixon being this fucking war criminal.
Right.
You know?
I feel like Hunter talked about the real side of drugs. Hunter was out there. Hunter was like writing's Patrice O'Neal, or like white people's Patrice, you know what I mean? Where it was
I don't know too much about Patrice O'Neal, so I don't know
that documentary was badass.
That metaphor.
It's just just in terms of an unwavering dedication to telling it like it is.
The truth.
Okay.
I mean?
Yeah, the truth.
The truth.
At all costs.
Right.
To make yourself look selfish, or to make the other side look selfish. At all times, always faltering with like your ideas. Like, it's okay to change your thoughts and your mind.
Even if it wasn't beneficial for him. Or,
yes.
You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just and so because of that, he would, Leary was out there talking about how like psychedelics are going to transform your psyche, and then by society, by extension, and Hunter was the one, like, there's also this really dark, mean aspect of it, and the Leary fantasy completely discredited the role of trauma in people's lives, so it's just like, I feel like Hunter kind of put shined a highlight on the insanity of it.
Yeah, just the way that I just feel like that documentary really brought me to be like, because you see him also with these rock stars, Bob Dylan, the Rolling Stones, even Johnny Depp, who was kind of like counterculture in the beginning of his career, like the kind of the movies and the roles that he would take. And man, I just think we're just really starting to water down our thoughts and the way that we process things. And I think we just really need these alternative heroes in this, like these anti-heroes in this weird way. Even if like you shouldn't, because like I've fallen into this trap, being like, I've idolized like Hunter S Thompson, Anthony Bourdain, Robin Williams, all the people that have killed themselves. These aren't the people to idolize per se, but there is a reasoning to them, and there's something about the voice that like there's something you can take from them. And I think we're starting to like push those people away. We're starting to ban these certain books that are like, because don't fall too much into that, because then you're going to go here.
Yeah, the question of like why or who or how,
question everything.
Yeah, we're definitely missing that. And I was going to ask you, what do you think? What media is still giving you that? Would you say like podcasting, or
I think that
like listening to
that's the smallest taste of realness that we have left. I feel
it's
like
comedy
podcast
Tim Dillon right now.
Yeah.
Matt Taibbi, is that his name?
Taibbi.
The little that I've read from him, I know that he also is like on one of the Patreon of like writing now as well, where it's one of those things where you subscribe to somebody and they give you like literature weekly. I've always enjoyed his writing, that style too. He does investigative journalism too, where
that's a good point. Comedy and independent journalism, I guess, would be
Whitney Webb.
Whitney Webb was who I thought of. Yeah.
Matthew Hastings before his car imploded. Yeah. Then that's maybe the danger. That's why people are afraid to go in there. They're afraid to go in there because, number one, it's hard to fucking survive because nobody's going to pay for you. That's why it's cool that they're. What is the platform?
You're not going to be making any money.
Patreon that you pay for, like the writer. It's the one for writers.
Oh,
Patreon, bro.
Not Gab.
Like that's coming from the person that should know, the writer. Patreon, bro.
Fuck you, man.
Poetry mis huevos.
Yeah.
I can't remember right now. It's just on the tip of my tongue, but I can't
That's a cool idea though, but how many people, is it going to support a writer? Probably not. I mean, probably not even their drinking habits. So.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if you don't comply and form into whatever they're buying, you're not going to make any money on whatever you're trying to do. Like Vice was, I don't know, Vice kind of came out with like all their independent journalism and all that, and like they seem to be doing an all right job, but then you could just tell it's totally
they were amazing for a while. I feel like
now it's like woke
garbage.
It's like
absolute trash.
Yeah, what did they sell out?
No, I think that they were probably pretty shitty to begin with. But yeah, they did sell out, but I think it was started by leftists who had like an idea, had some idealism, and then once they started to get success, like anything, it just
like
became
extreme culture.
Extreme pandering, yeah.
It's going to happen on this podcast. I mean, enjoy this.
Where are we going? Extreme left or extreme right, dude?
Whoever gives us the money, baby.
Exactly, yeah.
Who the sponsors are, baby?
It can change week to week on the sponsors. It really doesn't matter. I don't care. I'm saying all this not because I feel like I have a voice. I don't have a voice. I'm trying to shift and mold into whatever makes me successful.
Right.
So that's what it is at the end of the day.
I think that it's indicative of the same conversation you were just having about rock being dead and about there not being a Hunter Thompson around these days. In part, there's two kind of sides to the idea in my head. On one side, it's the fact that corporatism has absorbed every piece of art in society and infused it with CIA talking points.
Yeah.
And then there's like the other side of that, which is that everything has become niche now because the internet, cultural revolution that the internet brought, so that there's not a lot of people who are making it as corporate, successes, and the people who are, they aren't necessarily trend setting, even though they're ones, even though they're still making bigger bucks, like a Comedy Central comedian will still make big money. Or whatever, somebody who does corporate comedy like that. But these people like Whitney Webb and like Matt Taibbi and Tim Dillon and stuff like that can now hone their art and their ideas of the world, and they have an audience for it. There is somebody to actually spend some money and for them to be successful without the need to pander to the corporate idealism.
Yeah, I guess you do see that, huh? Because fucking Tim Dillon's making a buttload of money on Patreon.
That's crazy.
So it's twofold. There's no Hunter Thompson because there isn't a cohesive establishment to attack anymore. Everything.
And Tim Dillon looks like
separated.
Chris Farley, dude.
He is a big
Let's
fat
do a
white
side
guy.
by side, please.
I think that's I think it's racist. You're saying a fat white guy looks like another fat white guy, dude.
Yeah, that's
right?
anti-Irish.
Damn.
Bro. And
Yeah.
Irish hate, dude.
Yeah, and Irish hate, dude.
I'm
That's
sorry.
next.
That is a little bit of racism there.
That's
I'm
a
sorry.
lot.
I'm sorry, dude.
That's a lot. They're big guys.
Please forgive me, okay?
Yeah, so I just, there's no institutions to attack. Everything is all fissured. But I think that's why comedy and journalism are kind of becoming these new areas where, and I mean, not even new, obviously journalism has been, it's what Hunter Thompson did, but are the areas where the culture is catalyzing around right now.
Yeah.
Because that's where, Tim Dillon can go out there and talk about, overreaches of state and overreactions of the citizenry and, how stupid everybody is and make it funny and, make a point at the same time. So it sticks, it memifies the time.
Yeah, I guess, but also the other thing that's unfortunate is now that we have so much distractions, it's like that's such a niche market, and I think like people are thirsty for it. I think it's going to continually grow, but I think at the same point, it's like we have to look at like the younger generation of what they're consuming. Like they're not consuming podcasts in the same way. Like TikTok is the biggest thing. There's so many TikTok stars, there's so many Instagram stars that like it. To compete for their attention, to read a novel, to read investigative journalism, even give a shit where it's like, I know this one chick that's, dancing and then making millions of dollars by just playing this song. Like they're going to develop this way as well, where I think like there's armies of this like squandrel of people of like all these social media, Snapchat and quick responses for just like getting your little dopamine
Instant
fixes that I feel like it's unfortunate because like there's not going to be like Tim Dillon isn't as big as he really should be. Like that voice isn't like spread all over the place. Like the people that finally do break through the precipice of like whatever our attention span is, it's not going to go the same way as like the Rolling Stones where like the first 3 years they couldn't play longer than a 5-minute set because it was so loud in the arena.
Is that true though? Because I think we're taking the last 5 years for granted. Like you could have made this exact same point before Joe Rogan peaked, and then Joe Rogan would have been the antithesis to it. But now you make the same point. If we say Joe Rogan, you go, well, Joe Rogan's the outlier. Like, is he the outlier, or is he the scout? You know, is he the leader that is now pulling this?
True. I mean,
behind it?
That's a good point, because he is a huge leader and he does pull people all over the place out there. But I don't know. I mean, if you think about like Woodfest or Woodstock, I mean, Woodstock, all the bands that are like on that bill, like we're not talking about 2 or 3 like huge like headlining bands. Like, we're talking about 20 to 30.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about people that are all selling millions and millions of albums just from a single.
Right.
And now it's like a single goes on Spotify. It's just everything's so much different.
That's what I mean.
It's
Music
different.
was because it was so successful back then is probably the reason why it got attacked so heavily by the corporate influence, and why it's so saturated with it now that you can't be successful in it.
Yeah, that makes
either,
sense, huh?
either culturally or monetarily.
So it's too late almost
For
in a way.
music.
Yeah.
But that's why like everything is centering around comedy, because with comedy you can say everything that you want to say and still keep it entertaining, and you're not constrained to, you know,
Yeah, you're
like-
just gonna get canceled, dude.
Yeah, unless you have Patreon or something, then you're able to.
But I mean, Patreon could even cancel you.
Which is which is crazy. Right?
I mean, if you're Alex Jones, you know, but
But he's also doing really well right now, right? Isn't he doing better than he's ever done?
One of our very
I'm high, bro. Damn, I haven't felt like this in a long time.
dear and loved person, R.I.P. Rush Limbaugh was a big
Wait.
shout out to Rush Limbaugh, 3 months sober today.
¿Quién crees que eres?
I can't take
Dan
credit for
Bongino
that.
started his new slot, by the way. I just read that like 50 seconds ago
Who?
or whatever before we started.
Gina?
Some guy named Dan Bongino.
Oh,
I
this
don't
is
know.
Gina, whatever her name, that Disney chick, dude.
But yeah, he just
Landahorian.
so there's a new Rush Limbaugh in town, baby.
Damn.
And his name is Dan Bongino.
Is he
and he has
going-
cancer or something already,
Oh,
so he's
damn,
following
dude.
right in the footsteps.
So is he like
He's just like another right wing guy.
okay. That's what I was trying to say.
I don't think they're gonna switch it up. Hey, Rush fans,
We got Kyle Kashuv in here.
peace, love, and free Palestine.
Oh, I meant Kalinsky. Kyle Kashuv is right wing.
That's okay. Our listeners didn't get it.
Nobody would have got it,
I
and
didn't
it
get
doesn't
it
matter.
either,
But I would have been watching next week and been like, "Fuck, I said the wrong name. Now I have to correct it."
Yeah, that's all right. We don't know if you're gonna make another week with COVID. Dude.
I
It
know.
kills 99.9% of people, right?
These guys
I think
almost
that's what it is.
kicked me off the podcast today because I hung out with somebody who had COVID a week
Yeah,
ago.
dude.
Ridiculous.
And it's funny, and because it's so random. Like, who knows what to do in this situation? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no actual process of like. I guess there is.
Also, yeah, you quarantine yourself.
According to CDC.
That's exactly what you do.
But I don't know, dude.
You
it's-
come in contact with somebody that's been sick.
You didn't
don't-
do that?
Okay,
For the past 2
talking-
weeks? You've been going
this
to
isn't
work.
about me. I'm talking about what you're supposed to do. I didn't say give me advice. I'm saying what you're supposed to do.
Whatever, dude. It's just so.
I may have gone to a wedding with a bunch of people, didn't wear a mask, may have kissed a couple relatives, maybe kissed a couple not relatives, maybe boys, maybe girls. Who knows what happens, dude?
Damn,
Okay,
dude.
what happens in?
You know what, dude?
But yeah, what do you? It's the thing is like when you.
What do you do? Like, it's so hard to tell because like I didn't have any symptoms. I think it was like 9 or 10 days after my family, my wife and like they had it. So I was like, oh, I'm in the clear, it's this and that. And then like the following day, like I was eating my food and I was like, this just doesn't taste like anything, It's like it's very faint taste. So I was like, okay, maybe
Wait, faint or nothing?
it was slight. Like
So you never completely lost your taste?
I did like the following week. It was just like the first day that I noticed. I was like,
Sorry,
there's.
going back.
Yeah, it was just like the first day that I noticed it. I was like, okay, this is beans and rice. I know what beans and rice tastes like. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Look at my skin, dog.
I know what beans and rice. I know what beans and rice taste like.
¿Quién crees que eres?
Yeah, so I just it's so hard, especially like I don't know, man. Like you have no symptoms, like you're feeling fine, but fuck, who knows? Yeah,
I mean, I
that's
have
just kinda-
diarrhea, hemorrhoids, and herpes, but it's
Well,
It's not related.
I don't think those are
Yeah, they don't
COVID.
correlate.
I guess for me, when you told us like, oh, came in contact with somebody like last week that test, I was like, for me, it's just like, because like literally yesterday afternoon, I have finally felt better. That I was like,
From your COVID.
I mean,
we're finally recovered from that disease.
Finally got from over that disease. I don't want to get back into it. That I was like, I don't know, just like my sick experience was so miserable, dude.
Yeah.
It's just fucking. It really
Really,
did.
that's so weird.
Yeah.
You know what, dude?
No, I know because
You were sick and
I've
you were
joked-
miserable. Crazy.
I know.
That's really strange.
I just haven't been sick in so long, and I think it just knocked me out so much from just like partying so much with the wedding, not sleeping, and then all the stress from my job, drinking from the stress of my job. Like I just had been on a fucking tear, like a binge, dude.
Which is exactly.
But even
when you get
before
sick.
that, yeah, just like I was gassed out. So like I think just my body was also just like, dude, tap out. So on top of like this whatever sickness, cold, flu, COVID I got, I was also just like I was detoxing from alcohol, detoxing from weed. Finally
dude.
sleeping, so my dreams were getting crazy. I was, like
Had them
sweating
night
like
sweats,
crazy.
huh?
Oh, dude, like my bed's been like a water bed for 2 weeks in a row, dude.
Plus, you got that new ink.
Plus I got the new ink. Like it just, I don't know. So it just hit me like
It was a perfect storm. For,
it was,
for you
yeah,
to get sick. Yeah,
exactly. Then also like I get so agitated too when I start. I mean, because I started feeling better when we did the podcast last week. That I drank that night, and then I even ran not half marathon, a 5K the next day.
Yeah.
And that knocked me out.
Yeah.
So I also just like I don't know, just one of those things, man. But that's why when I'm going back to I was just fucking trailing off because I'm high.
Finish the fucking story.
When you texted us that, I was just like, fuck, dude, I don't want to get sick. But then I was
Right.
like, when I started really thinking, I was like, that's so insane to be like going to a mask without places, going to stand-up shows, like thinking about all the
Right.
people that I come in contact with, even that I've worked with, that I've gotten COVID, and then I didn't go. We still did the podcast the next day or so. I didn't get tested or something like that
Right.
either. It just
that
so I was
have
like,
probably been in contact with people that have gotten COVID in this that you have no idea
At the
about.
store
you know what
or
I'm
what-
saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you said something that really resonated with me. It's like at some point you're playing into this lunacy, right?
well, he told me to say that in a separate chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, we were both
be
just
like,
trying
hey, tell Pedro to
Yeah,
fucking.
copy and pasted that. Yeah. That wasn't me, dude. Sorry. I had to come clean, dude.
I told him I'd suck his dick if he did the pod today.
You use the word lunacy. That really resonates with him. You just learned it.
It's fresh.
It means something else in Spanish. It's like more intense. So like the translation doesn't really work, but that works so perfectly.
It has to do with the moon and hysteria. It's very pretty and womanly. It's good.
The curse of Lorena or whatever.
Yeah.
No, but it's like it's true. I mean, at some point you are just falling in the footsteps of just this fucking. It's lunacy, dude.
Yeah.
It's-
You got to decide how you're going to behave. Like,
Right.
okay, are we going to isolate from everyone who might have COVID, or are we not? You know, and if we're not, then let's just get through it.
And today I'm testing my fucking cell count right now because you might have it, and I already had it. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure I already had it before as well. So I
Yeah.
mean, I might.
I can
have
kiss you and give you
antibodies.
that antibodies.
Hell yeah, dude!
Kiss on camera, give you the antibodies.
nah, dude, you
And
gotta
I-
kiss my butthole.
All right.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
I'll do that. I'm down, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, how was the wedding? Did we talk about it?
No, you haven't been here in 3 weeks,
That's
dude.
right. 3?
It was
It was not 3.
It's been like probably at least 2.5 weeks now, man. Since I've
Has
done
it?
the podcast, yeah. Because we did that one with my cousin before that when we usually
right.
record. So yeah, it was great, man. It was a fun time. Yeah,
You can watch last week's episode and
I
learn
just
all about it.
Yeah. Where were you? Yeah, what
Episode
happened to you last
148.
week, dude?
Last week I was going through some shit, man.
Let me just say, ladies and gentlemen,
I mean, I'm gonna.
let me just say, ladies
talk
and
about it
gentlemen,
'cause-
If you do it off, kind of microphone,
Yeah.
you still kind of hear that doesn't
know.
really like.
I just wanted to know. Okay, listen, masturbation. Don't let it get out of hand.
True.
I'm sorry, Noki hated that joke.
he's like,
Yeah.
what?
Go ahead, Pedro.
Take it away. Hack.
And I'm not necessarily. I don't know if it was necessarily masturbation, but I mean, all right. So, last week, I've always watched porn, right? Ever since I was like 15 or 16, somewhere around there. but I never like felt it was, kind of consuming me or becoming a problem until like a couple months ago. And I just fucking noticed that like my wife would be out in the living room doing work because she works from home sometimes. And like, instead of being out there chilling with her, hanging out with her, I'd just be fucking in the room, just watching porn and twerking. That's triggering. I'm hard. And just like, so I noticed that.
Hands up here, buddy. Hands up here.
Yeah, my hands are clear. I noticed that, dude. And I just, not only that, is also like not being necessarily as affectionate towards her or I don't know, man. It's a fucking weird thing because it is, in a sense, it releases dopamine in your brain, correct? So it has the drug tendencies, like as a drug would do the same shit. Now I'm obviously not a scientist, so what the fuck ever. But I just noticed it increasing more. I was doing it more often. And not necessarily like every time I was doing it, I was masturbating, like I would just sometimes flip through it like it was fucking.
That's always been so strange to me.
A Facebook or something like.
Yeah, that's always been like the strangest thing that people do that.
What's that? Is that you just watch it without masturbating?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's always been like I've heard people that do. I'm just like.
Yeah. And it was like so like I realized like that's not normal, and like I
sometimes I'll get triggered by just, opening up Instagram or something, and I'm like, I have to go masturbate.
That's
now.
the thing too. Now mainstream media, dude, is like it's plastered everywhere. WAP, you'd fucking mention WAP earlier,
Hot video, dude.
But that's why I can't just like casually watch porn as a fun thing.
Well, and you shouldn't, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like you really shouldn't.
Yeah.
And so I noticed that, and that's part one. Okay, I struggled with this. I for so long I had a balance over it. It's like I would watch it while I just fucking masturbate or whatever, but then like it just became something else, and it became a little bit more consuming, and that's when I kind of realized I was like, this isn't normal. I shouldn't be doing this.
Everything you're clicking on just gets younger and younger, and then
we got to 14, and I was like, okay, come on,
okay.
Dude,
Stop typing in playground videos.
I will say, like, when I'm in relationships, I actually struggle with porn more than when I'm out of relationships.
Really?
It's strange because when you were talking about that with like her working in the room and whatnot, I remember this girl that I lived with, and she'd be like sleeping in the morning, and I have always just woken up early, so I would just would be sitting there, and I'd be kind of just
out of boredom, dude.
Kind of looking, and then kind of like sometimes trying to like sneak masturbate like next to her, or like I probably even could like casually like or sensually kiss her and wake her up or try to fuck when we're sleeping,
right?
And that would work too.
I'm hard,
but there was something.
Me too. Don't tell anyone.
I think, man, you've been you're married now. You've been in a long relationship. I think this is probably something that with desire and sexuality that but we can't even really relate to. But I've kind of dabbled in it because I've been in like 2 + 5 year relationships, and that's when I do my last one. I feel like a big part that was ruined was from pornography because we started working
You should
different.
have just said
pornography.
Pornography. It's so much better, dude.
But because when we would work different schedules and whatnot, so like I would have desires at certain times, and then I would jerk one off when she was working. Then she'd get home, and I didn't really have interest anymore.
I'm done.
Or I'm already done, or I'm drinking now. I'm smoking, or just I've already let it out of the canon, so to speak.
Yeah, man, and like there's a healthy balance to it. If you have a balance with it, and if you're able to, it's just like if you do notice it slipping, like I did, and like, that's when you're like, okay, let's probably do something about it.
And it is something that you've talked about for a while, so obviously it was weighing on your consciousness, conscience.
Because I'll joke about it and I'll fucking beat around the bush. Probably not the best terms, but.
I think Theo Vaughn really brought it even to my attention, a year or two ago when I started listening to him, that he would kind of start talking about. So it kind of actually made me more self-aware of when I was doing it, that I've been doing that now for so long. My habits of it are like, it's pretty like maybe once every week or once every 2 weeks sometimes, that like, I just,
Jesus.
Yeah. I don't have anything
I don't know how that's
for
possible.
It. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever done that my whole life.
It's just slowly grown into this thing that I'm just kind of disgusted and just kind of like. I know too much about porn stars now. I know too much about like what it takes.
You start learning their names and shit like that.
Well, not even just that, but like what goes on to the set and like how everything's produced, the actual like love or things. And I just start thinking about how it's actually affecting my brain. And I'm just like, I would rather, I think because like I have an addiction with alcohol, I'm such like this weird thing with all the other addictions in my life. I'm very like, I don't know what the word would be for just that, but like strict, because then I'm like, you can do that one thing. So I think that's also like one of those things I work out all the time. I like keep all these things in checks and lines. So I'm like, you can treat yourself with that one present or whatever that you feel like you deserve. And I've just pornography slowly been this like evil thing in my brain that like I feel guilty when I'm looking at it. I hate it even after I finish that feeling after you go and there's like the computer.
There's so much shame.
And even if you have a couple
and you're just like,
and you have more screens or you're just like, and I think about some of those videos and then like, I don't know if you ever had dreams about those certain girls, something like that, or like when they start getting in your life, these weird,
when you have
sex with a person and like, have you ever like been like, am I interested really in this person? So I'm closing my eyes and I'm thinking about a porn star.
Is that what you were thinking about when we had sex, dude? Why'd you point at me?
Damn. That like when I started doing that, I'm like, this is toxic. And like, I start thinking about like that caveman brain of like, as a human, are we supposed to see 1,000 images of different people having sex in all these different ways? No, we're not.
Yeah, you've definitely seen more naked women in your lifetime than any of your ancestors.
Oh yeah,
any of your,
except for my uncle, dude. He's a creep.
I mean, we meant of age.
Oh, okay.
Not
for sure, dude. Shout out.
But
Jake.
it's like I because there is a lot of guilt and shame after, especially being raised Catholic, dude. That's one big thing. It's like
for sure,
Catholic guilt is 100% true. No matter how much we joke about it, it resonates. It sticks with you, for the rest
like
of your
glue.
life.
Yeah, on your palms,
like cum on your tummy, dude.
But
sticks to you like cum in your belly button, dude. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, Father John.
Like
good times, your beard, bro. He slung ropes, dude.
Like I saw myself losing, that balance with it. So that's part one of the story. Part two comes. Part two.
Finish the fucking story.
I was like, "What are you waiting for, man?"
Yeah. What are you waiting for?
Part two was the one that I actually fucking. I was okay. So I get an email on Monday that has both my first and my last name in it, and it says something along the lines of, if you search the web without any protection on your or on your fucking computer or whatever, don't be surprised that people are can hack you, and they can revert your camera and capture a video of you having some alone time with some intimate time with your hand. And so it said something along the lines of that. And if you don't comply, to pay us $1,500, which fucking, when did sextortion become so much, dude?
Was this that, or was this an advertisement for a VPN? Because it sounds like an advertisement for a VPN that you thought was directed at you.
VPN afterwards.
It sounds like somebody told you a story that could happen, and you thought it was happening to you.
And do it again to me because I'm in Belgium. I'm using a Belgium IP.
Do you still have this email?
I jerk off with a mustache and glasses on.
Can you pull it up?
Yeah, I can pull it up. I think I did. I might have deleted it.
I feel like we should overlay it. Because I'm sure this fucking happens to, it's happened to me, it's happened to my roommate, but my roommate had it actually happen to him where it was like he jerked off on camera for somebody or whatever, and then they were like, that was a video.
So that he knew they actually had the footage.
I'm a dude, I have it.
Do you have the footage? Bring it up right here.
Yeah, my roommate was like, hey, free advertising, buddy. I don't give a shit. Do whatever you want. And
yeah,
it just...
All right. It says, it is possible that the first message is going to freak you out, but it doesn't come as a surprise when you navigate through adult sites. Do not be astounded at infecting your device. Like as at the fact that a person can switch your webcam and shoot your intimate activity with your hand. The guidelines are straightforward. If you pay me and I will not send your intimate video to your contacts from electronic email or share it on the web. After satisfying my request, You're never going to hear from me again. You may contact any person you want. Nobody's going to help you. I'll fulfill my promise in case you defy my requisition. Do not try to contact me. This address is going to be deleted after emailing the message. I reckon 48 hours are going to be enough for
I reckon.
tackling the financial question. That's what the email read.
And that's the end of it? Mm-hmm. For tackling the financial question. I mean, okay, and there's nothing, okay. But there's no instructions as to how to pay
or anything. So I was waiting for the 48 hours.
That is just saying the message goes like this, and then it says the message. So it's not necessarily saying that that's what's going to happen to you. It's just saying that that's what could happen to you.
I mean, they had my first and last name.
That's true.
So it was definitely directed at me. And like,
but do you see what I'm saying though? It said, you know,
it could happen to you.
Yeah, they were like, it shouldn't come as a surprise if something goes like this. The message comes like this. You know, so it's like.
But I don't know if I read that deep into it because I'm fucking full of shame and I'm full of guilt. Right. Now I'm thinking of like.
Are you Catholic?
Yeah, raised Catholic. I got first communion, catechism, fucking confirmation, everything, homie.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you ever get caught jerking off?
I've never been caught jerking off. Too good at it, dude, apparently. But,
I know, I saw the video, dude. Somebody emailed it to me.
But it's like I guess like in my state of mind, I panicked, you know? Like I didn't know what to do. I was like, how am I going to explain this to everybody? Cuz I mean, first off, I'm not going to pay $1,500 to a fucking just asshole hacker or whatever. You know,
I'd pay literally that much money to see a video of you masturbating.
Damn, I should start knowing
that. And it's very Black Mirror too. I'm sure your brain also went there. Now that you have, like a film or a TV show to now attach your paranoia to.
Yeah.
What a trap.
Yeah.
What a trap when you when you fall into a scenario that you know how another one of these scenarios plays out in a way that you can depict as the whole.
100%.
The person who made it knows that too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so, I mean, so that's where part two, and like, as soon as I read that email, dude, my fucking heart started racing a million miles an hour. I
Your tongue gets all dry.
I completely panicked, dude.
I exited out of the porn while I was watching.
I felt like fucking pale. And it's just like, I made rough drafts of like they're like letters that I was gonna send to friends and family members, or like a post to Facebook, like, you know, because I didn't know what to do, man.
Can you please read one of those drafts?
Yes, dude.
You want me to?
Yeah. Please.
This is so embarrassing, dude.
Oh, it's
but you know what? It's good talking about
it.
because it's also like people holding me accountable. You know what I'm saying?
And it's obviously something that happens. So
last Monday, last time I watched porn, so I'm
really?
happy. Yeah.
You're a weekend
dude.
I would take this
looking
from
at my ass weird.
I'd take this from the approach you had at first, that I don't negotiate with terrorists, and I would jerk off on webcam the next day.
Do it again. Reply
Fucking
to
at
this
least
video.
show me from the good side, bitch.
Where is this? Okay, here goes. Hey everyone.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Who Do You Think You Are podcast.
Hey y'all.
Whatever, dude. This is embarrassing, but it's true, and it happened to me, and this is my feelings.
Say it
okay?
as if you're
So
saying it to
I'm
the
being
person that you're
genuine.
apologizing to. Also,
Hey everyone, I believe I've been hacked. Not Facebook hacked, but legit hacked. If I have you under my contacts through my Apple ID, you will probably receive an email or a text from somebody with a video. Don't click it, please. And if you do open it and happen to see it, please delete and block that person. I wouldn't want anyone to subject themselves to my predicament. To try to understand that people have different addictions. Mine happens to see what was portrayed in the video, in parentheses, if you happen to see it. I'm not proud of it. I'm extremely ashamed of myself. I'm sorry. I'm working on it with the help of my friends, my family.
this is starting to sound like an OnlyFans drop.
Will you
I can't take anything back. I made my bed, and it is sad. And come to this for me to get help.
Don't let your life.
So I mean, I didn't know what to do, man. So I was like, you know what? Try to get ahead of this. It's gonna happen. Like at one point, I like accepted the fact that the video was gonna be released, right? So I'm like, you know what? Fucking whatever. In a week, it'll probably blow over. I'm probably blowing this whole thing out of proportion. It's gonna suck. It's gonna be shameful. It's gonna be embarrassing. But I made my bed. I have to fucking lay in it. So, I was like, whatever. It's after
I got jerked off in bed. I got to lay in it.
So I was like, at one point I accepted it and I was like, whatever, man, this is, and it's going to be what it is. The real homies will stick around. Whoever's, I don't know, man.
Whoever's down to fuck, dude.
It was just fucking, my mind was going everywhere. I didn't know where to
It
fucking
hit
go.
you right in your
right
weak
where they
spot.
wanted
Your
to go.
kryptonite,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
It's just
So-
funny because, and we talked about this in the thread, like it's something that happens to everybody. Like anybody who has ever looked at porn a lot has probably received some kind of email like that, even if they didn't see it and it just went straight to the spam folder.
Right.
Like that shit happens all the time. And I'm sure, and I've gone through little fucking heart attacks like that with little pop-up bullshits like that. And fucking,
Yeah, man.
like I said, my roommate got the extortion thing and, just it's present in people's lives. I don't think it's rare. So I don't think there's anything to be ashamed about. I fucking jerk off every day. So, and
Hey, Marshall.
That's why he's looking
that's
so
why this
buff,
fucking
dude.
one's, so much
Man,
bigger
I
than
See
the other
those
one.
veins, dude.
So it's just, it's the way it's human beings, dude. It's not a,
Yeah,
it's
no,
not a
and
thing.
you said something too. It's like, hey, porn's natural, this and that. It's just it is, but it's also having that balance over it.
Yeah.
And when I did realize like this was something that I shouldn't be doing as often, or just because I'm bored, or something like that, then I was with the help of the email, obviously, and having that mini heart attack. So it's just something I'm working on, and I'm trying to.
See, that's my problem though. It's like it gives you that feeling like when you're bored, or it gives you that feeling when it's not happening. I think creating this false pretense is a toxic thing. And that's where my brain goes to pornography or masturbating to it, where it's like, I do it when I'm bored. It's the end of the night and I go home. I'll jerk off now.
Justifying.
Look at some fucking hot women having sex. Yeah, yes. Or like in the morning, I'm not doing anything at work. I'm smoking weed, wake and bake. Feels great to smoke weed and look at porn and jerk off. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. So but it's like, I'm doing this out of boredom. I'm creating a fake emotion from something that's not tangible, not real. It's like technological. It's built. It's like
a hack of your
it's a hack.
biology.
Exactly. Thank you for saying it smart. Like
Don't say hack,
three
dude, I
words
get
rather
nervous.
than two sentences. Yeah, like you're hacking your DNA, your code, just for this, like, and that we do that with Instagram, Facebook, social media. And that's why, like, I have strict guidelines with those things, because I don't like this false illusion of feeding what our human needs are by this fake thing.
It's the same
upsets
thing as
me.
gambling. You hit a button in order to get the dopamine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even gambling feels like more real in a way. Like if you're going to a place.
Some people gamble online without real money and they get addicted to that.
I feel like that's going back to technology still. Like I don't know, technology, like it does freak me out too in this weird way that it slowly is like gripping its fucking little metal fingers in us and starting to suck our blood. And now we're getting the COVID vaccine, and now we have chips inside of us, folks. I can put a magnet on my arm now. I literally walked past the refrigerator the other day and I stuck to it. Because I got
The Johnson
Johnson's at it again.
So that's why I missed last week.
I would like to point out, as far as the shame aspect of it too, the same that I said in the thread was just like it's nothing to be ashamed about. And if somebody did hack your computer, get a video of you jerking off and send it to all your friends, it's like somebody pantsing you in public. Like if somebody comes up and yanks your pants down in public, they're the asshole, not you.
Yeah,
so there's nothing for you to be necessarily ashamed about.
Doesn't make you feel any better though.
I'm working with this, dude. What do you want? I'm ashamed.
And I did that too. One of my friends, shout out Scott, I remember senior year, we were walking, we had left, I think it was the last day of school. We're walking, he goes on this like pole that's like in this weird parking lot. And then I pants him. Literally, the girl that he had a crush on was like this with his
Damn,
dick.
you're an
Literally,
asshole, dude.
like, I know.
I've been
so you
pants
were
in
just
front of a
trying to
girl I
help-
had a crush on too. It was
Really?
Yeah, at the worst times,
Tell it.
like you're not you're just
That's why I
hanging
felt
out
bad. I was like,
flaccid, and you're like, shit, dude, that's not how I wanted her to see it.
yeah.
You know?
What happened? What
She was
happened?
never gonna
Nothing.
see
My
it
cousin was a dickhead and just pantsed me. That's true.
What were you doing? Oh,
Pantsed
you're just
me.
like hanging
I was
out.
standing there in my swimsuit. We were swimming.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then he just ran up and yoink while I'm talking to everybody, and I just went like he did it. I saw it kind of flop in my peripheral vision and kind of looked down and went, "That's my dick." And just kind of picked him back.
Yeah,
up.
no, it is true. It's like you're not the asshole, but it's also. I mean, it's that Catholic guilt, dude. It's like it's the shame and it's the embarrassment that's behind it, I guess.
That, but also getting pants in public is completely different than getting pants in public on the internet. I mean, the
They
amount
were
of
going to
views,
send it to his friends and family.
Then it's
So
also
it's like getting pantsed at your, at your
Quinceañera,
barbecue. Or, yeah, thank you.
But even then, it's that moment, then it's gone, and then it's just story, and then it becomes funny in 5 or 10 years.
That's true.
The thing
Your
that
friends
lives
aren't
on the
holding on
internet,
to it and jerking off.
you don't know what I feel like once it's on the internet and you see that video, you're like, somebody could have saved at this point. It could be on this one porn site now.
Right.
It could be here. It can be psych.
People who have been victims of
like rape
child
porn and
sexual abuse.
Yeah.
They have to get, if somebody downloads that and gets prosecuted, the people who were portrayed in the video have to get notifications about it.
You sound like somebody that learned this the hard way.
I think.
¿Quién crees que eres?
So yeah, like they all. So like if you were a victim of child sexual abuse, you get letters in the mail every so often, like so and so in whatever state got caught.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
I can't remember where I heard that from. It was on a podcast.
And they also like hear like when they get out or like of jail or something, they start a new job and they do this, and now their restrictions just got lifted from that because it's been that many years, and you're like,
yeah,
fuck,
statute of limitations.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
that's cool. Dude.
So that happened. That happened Monday. So for Tuesday and Wednesday, I was in this fucking state of panic attack for 48 hours, waiting the second email, probably giving me information on how to, go on with the demands and how to pay them and whatnot. And another thing that I was like, and I think you helped me out that day, dude. It was Tuesday, I think, with the usual day we record where I canceled. You told me you're like, if they would have had something, they probably would have sent something over or something like that. There wasn't no evidence behind it.
Yeah.
Aside from my name in the email, which I mean,
easy
from
to
you get
find.
my email, you have my name. Like, aside from that, there wasn't any like evidence of them having anything. So I could see like if the email that I got was just the video and be like, hey, give us
That
this
would
much.
be-
That's fine. That would be terrible.
It'd be heavy.
So like that kind of kept my hopes up, but still I was frantic. And all of last week I was religiously checking my email accounts, like expecting the worst. You know what I'm saying?
you have mad anxiety, dog.
Hell yeah,
I
dude.
don't-
I
yeah.
do. Yeah, no, I do for sure.
I don't feel like you even were aware of it that much, like when we first started the podcast. So
No.
as much as like now I feel like, dude, this fucking guy's angst out.
Yeah, I
dog.
talk about all my
Why do you
anxiety.
think I masturbated so much?
No, but because even like on that day when he missed it, I was kind of like, dude, I bet you some bullshit kind
Yeah.
of thing. And when you texted that story the next day, I was like, oh fuck, like that's real. And like I read it from a place I was like, he believed this was very
Yeah,
real. And like,
100%,
and now
dude.
I put myself in your shoes, and I never got an email like that. Maybe I have like in some spam kind of shit that I knew it was nothing, but like nothing
Right.
that ever like resonated like that. And I was like, damn, dude, he really like thinks or thought this
Yeah.
shit's happening.
Yeah, man,
I'm like,
and
that'd be terrifying.
Because
And
I've
then I
been
was
there,
like,
I was like, oh
and I
yeah.
was like, that would fucking
It was
suck,
emphasized by the shame and the embarrassment of
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely emphasized. I told you as much. I hope as much as I hope this is fake. Like, the feelings are very real.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so like even if it is fake, the feelings. It was fake, obviously, because y'all ain't seen me jerking off. Well,
Yeah, I mean, that could have been the beginning of your backslide down into male prostitution and heroin.
It could have been, or he could have made a lot of money. He could be a sober porn.
Those two
actor.
things aren't mutually
sober
exclusive.
porn guy.
Yeah, sober porn guy.
There's no sober porn guy.
You
Dude.
get like you like slam all the girls in the V dubs. you take like all the different kind of Volkswagens, and that's where you bang the girls.
You
It's
call
like,
your channel straight edging.
yeah, and it's like it's more romantic. It's not like you're just fucking them and doing anal gap kind of stuff. You're taking them like in a beach cruiser, a bug, like very like getting coffee and cars with Jerry Jufield or whatever his name is. Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Like you pick up these girls in these awesome
Damn. I could
vintage
sell it to
Volkswagens, and then you bang them in the back, dude, and like that would be a cool. And you have that hat on every single time,
Yeah, dude, straight edging with Pedro.
and then in every video, there's kind of like a little a cameo of C just kind of walking by,
Yeah.
and then it's kind of peeking. in the
Yeah,
car
if you
real
need
quick.
like the passerby
peeking
who's like,
in.
oh,
yeah. Every time it's him.
And he offers he offers to help every time, dude. Like, no, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
That'd be a good porn series, dude. Honestly.
Hell yeah, dude.
And then if that video would have came out, maybe that could have had me be making millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Maybe,
And there's
yeah.
nothing that makes you happier than millions of dollars, even if you're selling your body for sex.
Yeah.
Hashtag support sex workers.
Oh, can fuck me.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom really quick.
Right.
Ah!
So that's why I missed last week, because I was just
No, I get it.
I
That's
wasn't in the right state of
that's
mind,
a
man.
very-
It wouldn't have been fun for me. It wouldn't have been fun for you guys.
That's a scary thing to be going through, especially because of how real it became
Yeah,
to
the
you.
embarrassment to like my wife and like my like daughter. God, thank God she's way too young to understand it. But
Well,
if
it's not like
I
she
ever,
would see it. Not like Rachel would get the email and be like,
no,
look
man.
at this is
Yeah,
your
look
dad.
at your dad.
Hey!
But it's like eventually she would reach an age where it would probably come
Right.
back to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just all of that, like it was just terrible. Like,
At least you know that you have a family that like you can have something that bad happen to, and you have somebody that you can still fall back on at the end of the day. So that's
Yeah.
special, dude.
yeah. And
think
shout out
about
to my
that.
wife for being hella supportive. Honestly.
Hell yeah, dude. Shout out to your wife, bro.
Dude, can I shout her out too?
Yeah, dude.
Shout out to your wife too.
But yeah, man, I'm working on it. I'm working.
Well,
on
good to see you,
myself,
bro.
And
Yeah.
I'm
glad you
to
came.
be here, and actually, I'm really glad I
You shouldn't
fucking
have done
talk.
that
Oh
ever.
fuck! God damn it!
COVID hands.
Now you can't jerk off because you're afraid you're going to get COVID on your dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, this is STD. Next thing we know, huh?
I look like a guy that would name a song "COVID on Your Dick."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, dude, with the tennis racket in your hand.
Yeah.
Can I just express my displeasure with you that you didn't laugh at straight edging? I thought that was pretty good.
I missed it when you say it.
It's Pedro's video that he's
That's
doing.
my YouTube channel.
Straight edging with Pedro.
That is good.
Thank you.
And it would get to like a point where, and I'm just going to continue talking about this and embarrass myself more, but it's like
And no, I'm going to stop you there. Honestly, doing 149 episodes of this is less embarrassing. No, it's less embarrassing to have a video of you jerking off than doing this many episodes of a podcast on YouTube. So shout out, follow us at hashtag WDUTUR pod. Continue.
okay. But no, I think I listened to The King and the Sting, and I brought this up to you guys as well. It's like they had Stevie Weeby on there, Bobby Lee's brother, and he was just talking.
Stevie Weeby autistic.
I don't know,
Maybe
Asperger's.
okay.
But
He's just Asian.
¿Quién crees que eres?
But it's like he was talking about like how he's like he uses the Oculus and all this, like, and he's like, and sometimes I wouldn't come for hours, and it's like I never got like super bad like that, but it was like I would prolong, the process of it to get more obviously to get more pleasure.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I used to do that same shit.
and it's straight edging with Pedro, dude. So it's like, but it's
I was your only subscriber, dude.
no, it's just not. It wasn't a healthy balance. Look, by all means, dude, have the healthy balance with pornography. You said once, twice a week, whatever. I think that's good.
I do once, twice a day, but it's fine.
Hey, Marshall.
He doesn't want to hit that button because it only applies to him.
It was for you.
But yeah, man, I lost the balance and
But good for you for seeing that, dude. That's the bigger thing than anything. I think the biggest trap in life is people go years and years without even reflecting on themselves and trying to change patterns, or even I think just even being aware of them, man. Just like
you said I wasn't aware
enough.
of like my anxiety before like this.
And think about how many years did you been compounding on anxiety, compounding on masturbation, or thinking about these certain patterns and habits? How long does it take to break that same kind of habit, or even have a thought every single day now suddenly just shift a little bit? And Jordan Peterson said that in some way about creativity in this way, where it's like this little blip where you're constantly moving, but it's like at the end of the day, when you start stepping further and further back, it's like you're moving, you're changing, you're shifting, man. And I think you have to be grateful that and have gratitude for yourself for even noticing that and putting in that work, and just constantly putting in that work daily, reminding yourself, even though you know you're going to fall sometimes, and sometimes fall and say, fuck it, dude, and then enjoy it and lean into it that you're doing it. Be a little naughty, be a little Hunter S Thompson, take some fucking mescaline in Las Vegas. Like, who gives a fuck too sometimes? You can't always like be like this weird straight and narrow either, but just always at least keep yourself in check in some way, man. I think so. I praise you for that.
Thank you, man.
Dude, I praise you for that, because like I said, I would say a big part of one of my last like long-term relationships fell apart, probably because like I started looking at porn literally every day and like just pleasing myself rather than, and then all of a sudden when you're busy and doing a lot of shit, hey, you're not going to be as romantic or do these gestures.
You're not as motivated.
You're not, and especially as you get older, because you're not that same kid when you're like 16, like
Yeah.
except for fucking muscly arms over here, jerking off twice a day, hanging with a fatty with COVID. But
Dang. All right.
I didn't say anything, dude.
I'm just comedy, dude. God, dude.
Did you guys know that mammals can breathe through their asses?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and I'm turned on by it, okay?
Try not to jerk off over here. Yeah, apparently, like a lot of aquatic animals breathe through their
I'm
intestines.
looking over you, seeing where you're reading it from, and I still see Elliot Page's tits, and I'm like, is this a meme? Because like I don't like this. This is bad, dude.
No,
and
it's true.
Demi Lovato. Again. I'm
There
proud
was
of you.
a science article that came out recently that said a bunch of aquatic animals have developed the ability through evolution to breathe in their intestines.
That butt lungs, dude.
Exactly, got butt lungs.
It kind of makes sense, because when you do anal, you're supposed to like kind of breathe in. So we actually, if we did more anal, we would slowly evolve and start breathing through our ass.
And that's one of the, so it's just another one of the amazing things that COVID has brought us is the suggestion that potentially if we start losing our ability to retain oxygen in our lungs due to something like pneumonia or COVID, they can just pump oxygenated water into our butthole and
I do that every day,
us-
every day with my fucking tushy, dude.
nice.
Oh,
dude.
you're so lucky, dude. I wish
A
I was
little
your
bidet,
tushy.
dude.
Oh yeah, tushy.com/WDUTUR.
No, don't search
potty.
tushy.com. You will reach a porn site. You got to say hello tushy.com/WDUTUR
How many
pod
times-
and get 50%
And
off.
how many times did it take you to learn that, dude? You fucking creep.
I purposefully put I purposefully took
it's
I was looking up bidets. I was looking up bidets and I don't know what happened.
It's all butt stuff.
We've got a little bit of time, but I'm going to pitch one thing to you guys, and we can do it or we cannot.
Pull your dick.
Okay, I might say no because I have to go. My mom's watching my daughter.
There's a what?
I have to relieve her soon. dude.
Yeah.
It's not okay, but
I was here on time. I don't know if you.
I sent you guys the a link to open up because I want us to read it together. If you guys want to if you guys want to do this in honor of cancel culture, in honor of Kill Tony, which just published a new episode, by the way. So I'm interested to see where that goes. It's the 68 words you can't say on TV. I thought we could just all read them together as our outro. Don't start without us, Pedro.
Are we reading them like?
Oh, were you just calling me?
I'm just going to say there's a couple that I see in here that I'm not going to say.
Why? Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's a fun game. Okay, so let's go through it and we'll read
See
it.
who drops off.
And you have to skip all the racial slurs.
No, let's say you stopped when you don't want to say it anymore. What's your... Oh, I mean, even...
I'll say all of them because I
Damn.
don't give a shit, dude.
Okay.
But that's not good for the pod. So let's all just read them and we have to skip the racial slurs and that's the game.
Asshole. Beat off.
Beat off.
Blow. Blowjob. Bullshit.
Busted nut. Camel jockey. Carpet muncher.
Carpet muncher. What's a camel jockey?
It's a jockey of the camel. So a jockey would be somebody who rides a horse. A camel jockey would be somebody who rides a camel. A camel in this case would probably be referring to...
Okay, keep it going. Carpet muncher, Tony Hinchcliffe, Christ,
circle jerk,
clit, cock, cocksucker,
HelloFresh.com, coochie, cream, cum, cunt.
Dick.
What's that? I don't know that one.
That one is...
D-A-G-O.
Yeah.
That one's Dago. It's a racial slur for Irish.
Dick,
Dirty Sanchez, doggy style, dyke,
fag,
Vajote.
Vajote,
fingered, fisting, fuck, fudge packer, goddamn,
hand job.
Head. I almost lost. Okay.
You said it.
Heeb.
Oh, loser of the game. And Jewish hate. Pedro lost the game.
Damn, dude.
the end.
And hashtag support Palestine, dude.
Whatever, dude. The Jews are
crazy.
still free game, okay?
That's it. We're done with the game. That was fantastic. Pedro lost.
not surprised.
I'm a loser.
By losing, you win, though.
All right.
Because you got to say the racial
Cancel.
slur.
I almost
And
got
you got the
canceled
excuse.
twice.
We gave you an excuse to say a racial slur.
So on episode
didn't know
where you're
that
the
was
most vulnerable, you say one of your most vulnerable stories. You also say, yeah, one of the worst words you could say in history right now, dude. One of the worst things you could say.
I didn't know that's what it meant, dude. Okay. it's ignorance, people. Okay.
Ignorance is bliss.
yeah, it is,
okay.
dude.
Ignorance
Racism is very ignorant, Pedro.
And I'm up for it.
Didn't you hear?
See you next week, folks.
Amor y paz.